in that bright land to which I go.
campus of Florida State.
And starts celebrating an undefeated season, an ACC championship.
Mike Norvell is going to have Florida State here for a long time.
I think actually Florida State's here to stay.
Why did you choose Florida State University?
It was something about it when you plant that spear in the middle of the field. There's no university in the world better than it.
Florida State consistently finds a way to get top-level recruits each and every single year.
So if you're a Seminoles fan, you got to be fired up about Luke Romanowski. And Mike Norvell and the Seminoles are getting an absolute steal.
This is a sign of the times at Florida State right now, because Mike Norvell has pushed Florida State back to prominence.
Everything seems to be going in the direction that FSU is going to be back. I believe they are.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Tribe 24 National Signing Day show presented by The Battle's End. How is everybody doing tonight? Ready to get it going? It is a day of celebration and excitement around Florida State football. We appreciate all of you that have made your way and are here with us enjoying this evening tonight. And to everybody watching our show, our Signing Day special around the world as well on the new Seminoles Unconquered app. My name is Jeff Colhane. We have a special show for you. It's going to be fast-moving. We have a lot of things to get to. We're going to hear from all of our coaches and introduce to you the 21 newest members to the Florida State football family that were introduced and signed the dotted line, their NLIs, today. A couple of big thank yous before we get our program started. As always, again, a big thank you to the Battle's End Collective sponsoring tonight's program. Big round of applause to those folks. Great team. A huge impact on Florida State football and Florida State athletics. Also want to give a big thank you, a big shout out to our Vice President and Director of Athletics, Michael Alford, who is here with us tonight as well. Big thank you for his leadership over on the right. And the President and CEO of Seminole Boosters, Mr. Stephen Ponder, here with us tonight as well. His great team, so much hard work that they have put into this show and making this night a great success. 21 newest members of the Florida State football family from the state of Florida, the state of Georgia, and around the country as well. Let's introduce the head man who has led this Florida State football program back to an elite level of prominence, the ACC Coach of the Year. Give it up for Mike Norvell, ladies and gentlemen. Coach, congratulations. What a day. And you mentioned it earlier during your press conference. It's not only this year, this has been years in the making by you, your coaches, your entire staff that is here with you tonight. How do you put what this day means to you, put it into words for everybody watching and listening tonight?
No, I mean, it's a great day. And, just to start off, I mean, it's a day of gratitude. It's a day of celebration. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to represent this incredible, university program, our wonderful fan base. I mean, the people make the place. And today, obviously we've added 21 announced signees that are coming into our program that are a remarkable group. And the families that they come from, their stories, it truly is special. But, I'm so grateful for who I get to do it with. And, our staff, the work they put in, the sacrifice, the time away from their families, our recruiting department, every area around our program. I know you mentioned Michael Alford, our athletic director. I mean, just, the group that we've been able to attract to Florida State, when it comes to our staff, our personnel, the support, our chairman of the board of trustees, Peter Collins, is here in attendance. And I mean, it's about the alignment from President McCullough, all the way through to the board of trustees, the athletic department, everybody associated with the program. I mean, it's that alignment that continues to push. Like, we talk about that climb and the growth and the improvement within our team and our program. It comes down to the work of all those individuals. And, I definitely want to tell our staff, the support staff, recruiting, your staff, just how appreciative I am of them, because this is a special class we've been able to put together. And you're going to see tonight, you'll watch some great highlights, some incredible talent, but the hearts of the young men. We've talked since I got here. It's about finding the right fit for Florida State University, and that's what we've done. You know, you look at the past 3 classes that we signed, and every signing day we get up here and we're excited, you know, what these guys are bringing into our program. Well, the team that we've been able to put together just went 13-0 and won an ACC championship. And we're just getting started to where we're going. And this class, you know, all the incredible support that we have, I mean, it is definitely a wonderful day of celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you think about how this class has come together in the journey to getting to this day, you've had young men that have been committed for a couple of years in this class. That's how far it goes back. You've had others that you identified in this last calendar year as well, and they've come together overall. When you think of just the compilation of the 21 young men that have been added today in this early signing period, what comes to mind for you?
I mean, it's 4 years in the making, because, you know, you look at this class, I mean, and, you know, we have so many players that are you know, if not the best, you know, some of the top players at their position across the country. And, you know, you think about the investment in time. We wanted to have a great focus on the state of Florida, the state of Georgia, and, you know, getting the best players. And 17 of the 21 signees are from those 2 states. I mean, it was, you know, impressive to see, you know, the excitement, the growth, you know, the buy-in. You know, some of those guys have been committed for the last few years, and they believed in the vision a few years back, but we've been able to really, you know, build the trust in how it's been done, and to seeing the growth within our team, seeing the culture, because it's not just on the field. You know, everybody gets excited about 13-0, back-to-back 10-win seasons, back-to-back state championships. Let me say that once again. But you also see the character, right, of the players that we have. I mean, this year we faced adversity. You know, we faced some challenging times, some challenging moments, but when you see players that truly care about who they do it with, how they rally and answer the call, when you see players that are succeeding, you know, off the field, you know not only have we won a lot of games, but we're also doing it with a football team that has a GPA, a team GPA of over a 3.0, guys that are just achieving success in all things that they put their minds and their hearts to. And, you know, that now these recruits are coming in, and the signees from today, they're going to come put their stamp on it. And, you know, you think about, you know, those first couple of years having COVID, we weren't able to get into the high schools. You know, and so, you know, the amount of time that our coaching staff and the investment of you know, being able to build those relationships, you saw that really pay off today, you know, with just an incredible group of young men. They're about to be a part of our program.
I know you talk a lot about fit. You mentioned that, obviously, and what is, you say it all the time, Florida State's not for everybody. It's for the real ones, and there's an expectation on and off the field. And one of the things you said earlier today, we say yes to you, you say yes to us, and there's just that sort of connection that you develop and that you grow. What does that mean to you and your coaching staff, that relationship piece of bringing in a young man and his family into your football program?
Absolutely, because, you know, we paint the truest and the realest of pictures. I try to scare them off, to be honest with you, because, you know, when they get here, I want them to understand what to expect. And when you put together a team of like-minded individuals, because that's what we have. You know, everybody on our team, they have their own unique personality, and we embrace that. We want those personalities, but we want to have a similar mindset, because, you know, anybody can have a good attitude when it's 60 degrees and sunny outside. But, you know, ultimately, whenever you face a challenging day, a tough moment, you know, where do you go? You know, what shows up in those times? And, you know, it's been hard. Life is hard. But when you see the way that our guys have responded throughout the course of this season to go, you know, win our 16th ACC championship, you know, all the things that they were able to do on and off the field, you know, it really makes the journey worth it. And, you know, to be able to see these young men, and, you know, some of these guys, like I said, they've been committed to us for a couple of years now, and to build those relationships, to have an understanding of what they're going to bring, you know, into this program. You know, we got some real ones coming, and, you know, very talented, you know, remarkable group. But I mean, I'm just so excited about their personalities, and you know, just really that mindset that they're bringing into our locker room, you know, and being a part of this culture.
And I know you guys and your staff, you lean on your current players, right? Because they're hosting. They're your best recruiters in so many ways, and letting you know when you talk about that fit, who's real, who maybe isn't, and who is going to provide what you're looking for the future with your program.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And I tell our guys, just be real, be honest, tell them exactly what to expect, because, you know, it's the worst thing that can ever happen is somebody come into a program, and you know, I've seen this happen at previous places or places that, you know, they're out there where, you know, recruiting, there can be a lot of a sales pitch that is issued, and we're just trying to be genuine and true to who we are and what they can expect. And, you know, with our players, you know, they are the best recruiters because they get to tell the stories. They get to share the experiences, and, you know, to see them come together, and, you know, because they're a part of who's coming in that locker room too. And, you know, we've got a responsibility to them, and, you know, they've got a responsibility to us to make sure that we're finding the right fit. And I know that word gets used a lot, but you see how that comes together through the course of a season. It's how you've seen that, you know, continue to elevate our program. And like I said, we're just getting started because I know these guys that are coming in, you know, what they're made of. And, you know, we try to present that at the front end of it, and then they get to say yes, and you know, you get to see them grow and just continue to celebrate all the success of what Florida State has to offer.
I want to get your thoughts, obviously, on some of these young men here in a moment, but I know the last couple of weeks in this month, this is a wild, wild month for you, for your staff, because you got a big game you're preparing for, and yet you're still working towards tonight over the last 2.5 weeks or so. December, this month, how do you describe it? And with that, you've been in a lot of these guys' homes. What's been the consistent theme of feedback you've gotten from your players here with you right now?
No, I mean, there's not really words to describe what we've just been through in the last couple of weeks, 2.5 weeks. But, you know, it is, you know, through the ups and downs of these last few weeks, what is so encouraging is when you go to the homes, when you sit with the families, when you hear their excitement. Because I asked every one of them when I was sitting in their living rooms, I was like, what are you most excited about? You know, they're about to take this next step in their journey, and all they can talk about is who and what they're about to be a part of. And it, you know, you could sit there and you could talk about a touchdown or an interception or running out of a tunnel, but when you truly embrace the people that you get to be a part of, when you're embracing the you know, the expectations that comes with being a Florida State Seminole, that's what gives me such great pride in that we got the right young men. And, you know, it's just you know, today is a celebration because it's a celebration for those families. You know, we have a lot of these guys that are actually going to be, you know, starting here in January, so they're going to get a jump start. Some guys will be coming in the summer. But you know, you just felt that collective you know, appreciation for who we are and what and you know, who they're going to get to represent, you know, putting on that garnet and gold. And that's what makes this, you know, this university and this program so special, because you do represent, you know, just a remarkable you know, a legacy of great players and tremendous traditions. But, you know, to find the mindset and the character and the heart to want to represent that is really been special.
Yep, big part of our show coming up in about 7 or 8 minutes or so. We're going to hear from all the assistant coaches who have worked so hard as well, and we'll see some videos on the individuals, the 21 newest members of the Florida State football family. But obviously, we want to get your thoughts on some of these guys, Coach. And the quarterback of this class, Luke Kromenhoek, is a guy that's been committed to you for a long time. You guys went in and you identified him early in the process, and I know he checks all the boxes for you of what you're looking for at that position.
No, I mean, Luke is remarkable, and you know, we started recruiting him before he ever started a high school game at quarterback. You know, he started at DB, started at receiver. He came over for a camp, and you just saw the talent, you saw the ability, but I saw the heart, and I saw the young man, and that's something that I was sold on. And you know, as he got to continue to grow in his career, you know, his first year as a starting quarterback, won a state championship, you know, became one of the top quarterbacks in the country, and you know, is just doing what I believed he would. You know, because you can always get a sense of the person, and you know, he is a tremendous leader. You know, for this team, for this recruiting class, and what he's going to mean to this team is really going to be special. And you know, he's had plenty. You know, might not have had a ton of options at the beginning of it before when we jumped out and offered him. But you know, as this journey has gone, I mean, he's been extremely sought after. But you know, he stayed true to the belief we had in him and the belief that he had in us. As we've seen, you know, both parties, you know, just elevate to the top. And you know, he's going to be a remarkable Seminole.
I heard you mention today the two running backs that you got and guys that jump out at you. And the other item with that is with Cam Davis and also with Micaiah Dancy. those are guys right in your backyard here in Tallahassee and just up the road in southern Georgia as well.
No, special players, and I mean the explosive ability, the versatility that they bring. I mean, anybody that's watched our football team would know that we like to do a lot of different things with our backs, and these guys can obviously run the ball with physicality and toughness in between the tackles. But if they get out in space, I mean they're dangerous, and we got two wonderful playmakers in those two, and having them local, the number of times they've been over, the relationships that they've built. I mean that's going to be a dynamic duo for sure.
Absolutely. At your wide receiver room, you've got a young man that has a last name that everyone here is going to recognize. We'll talk about that with Coach Dugans a little bit later on. But young Cam Fryer is a guy that you said speed. He's got a lot of speed and a guy that can go out and make a lot of plays, as are some of the other wide receivers that are very talented from across the state and down in South Florida as well.
No, absolutely. And when you look at that group, I mean, we wanted the playmaking ability. We wanted the electric type of play, where whether it's inside, outside, being explosive with the ball in their hands. What they did when they didn't have their ball in their hands. And I think with the 4 receivers we signed, I mean, that's going to be a fun group to watch here in these years to come. And some guys that have ability to come in and make an immediate impact. You got great size, strength, and like I said, that playmaking ability is what makes them special. But definitely excited about our receiver group.
Speaking of immediate impact, nothing like getting the top tight end in America, in all of the entire country, in Landon Thomas, who is a big-time player, going to be an early enrollee, you mentioned earlier today, and is going to have a chance to compete to help your football team right away in 2024.
No, I mean, that's one of the stars of this class, and Landon is just a remarkable young man. That's one that's been 4 years in building relationships, and he had a lot of success early in high school and has definitely lived up to all of the billing. But when you get to know the young man, that's what makes him special. And he'll be here in January. There's no limits to what that we expect him to do and what we're going to push him to do. But was definitely a big focus in this class, and so glad to have him part of the program.
As you talk about playmakers, flipping over to the defensive side of the football, a young man and a name that our fans here tonight and watching as well on the Seminoles on Concord app, Charles Lester, is a name that people have gravitated towards, and I know someone that you're really excited to have within your program. High personality, but also a high football IQ in so many ways.
No, absolutely. Charles, when you talk about Charles, you have to talk about personality because he has it, and he just he cares so much about those people that are around him. I mean, we built an incredible relationship over these last few years, and just I love the young man, and for all that he can do, he is a tremendous athlete. And when you really look at that defensive back group, I think Coach Surtain, Coach Fuller have done just an amazing job of identifying key playmakers, guys that have had a background on offense, that know how to get the ball in their hand, know what to do when they get it there. But Charles really kind of is just a wonderful picture of that. Could really play on either side, but that the size, the length, the speed, the explosiveness is something that obviously that everybody's looking for, but has really been a staple when you look at this group that's coming in the defensive backfield.
When you recruit in the trenches, I know it's a building process, and you're looking for versatility. I know you're looking to find guys that obviously fit the style of what you're trying to do on both sides of the ball. With what you're bringing in, what would you tell folks about offensively and defensively up front, where you got better with this group here today?
I think when you look at it, I mean, the explosiveness, the length, I mean, these guys are a dynamic group. We signed 4 offensive linemen. We've got a great group of defensive linemen coming in, and this is a group that when you see not only just the physical traits that they bring, I mean, it's combined with the mentality, because you want that toughness, you want the physicality, you want the versatility to be able to align in multiple spots to be able to showcase all that they do. And I think we've really done a great job of addressing some needs and continuing to get bigger, stronger, and more powerful and explosive with the guys down in the trenches.
You've got great players across the board in this early signing period class. I want to make mention of special teams. You got a great kicker coming in, Coach. Obviously, Ryan Fitzgerald has been outstanding. Coming back for another year, he's been great, but you got the top kicker in the entire country, and Jake Weinberg coming in wearing the garnet and gold.
Yeah, no, Jake is a special addition into this class. I mean, he's somebody that we identified. Coach JP has done a wonderful job in building a relationship. Carter Barfield, those guys have just when you watch Jake, I mean, yes, you can see the talent. I mean, he's got one of the strongest legs in the country, but you also get a sense of the competitor. You see the critical situations he's been put in, and just how he's responded. He's going to get to come in and compete with, but also learn from Ryan, who's kind of done it all. And you look at how Ryan, how he performed this season, and just all the big kicks and all the big moments. But you can also talk about just the journey. And I think Jake is going to be one that we're going to be celebrating for a long time, and just a great addition into our program here today.
Coach, we always appreciate your time. Final thoughts, final thank yous maybe about what this day means to you. And of course, we have a great crowd here tonight, a part of this once again with Tribe 24 signing day.
No, I mean, I just appreciate everybody involved, and for our fan base, I want you to know the impact that you make. I mean, the last 5 games were all sellouts here in Doak Campbell, and these kids, they come and they're a part of these games. They feel the energy, and that's one of the things that always stands out. It's like it's different here, and I mean, you make it special, and we definitely appreciate that. And when these guys are in town or in Tallahassee, I want guys that are going to be all into the entire collegiate experience of what we have, and being a part of a wonderful institution, a top 20 institution, academically, and then obviously a top 5 football program in the country. I mean, you get a combination to have it all, and to live in a wonderful community, to represent this fan base. I mean, it is special, and like I said at the beginning, I mean, we're just getting started to where we're heading, and this is a group that we're going to look back on and say, man, this was a special class, and not only with great players, but young men that are going to make a lifetime and long-lasting impact into our program for just who they are and what they're all about.
Coach, thank you for all your work. I know this is just it's a great process, a very rewarding day for so many, and a celebration. And it's an honor to watch you guys climb and build this program to where you have it today. Thanks so much.
Well, I appreciate everybody coming out, and it's a great day to be a Knoll, and excited for what the future holds.
Round of applause for Mike Norvell, ladies and gentlemen, ACC Coach of the Year, head coach of this Florida State football team. And before we continue on, we'll take a short time out for this from Seminole Boosters. And of course, a big thank you to all here at Seminole Boosters. Great team, great staff, and of course, they do a great job connecting with all of you great fans and supporters of Florida State football and Florida State athletics. As we continue on and move into our next round of conversations, we're excited now to go essentially position by position and break this all down. Big round of applause for quarterbacks coach Tony Tokars, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're going to get right into it, Coach. Let's take a peek at the quarterback of this class, Luke Kromenhoek.
So as you guys watch this, Luke, is it running yet? Okay. There we go. So Luke, I mean, one of the first things that's going to stand out is you guys are going to see somebody with elite arm talent, some of the best in the country in this year's class. In my opinion, he's the best quarterback in the class coming out. You're going to see just the athleticism to be able to extend plays both from inside the pocket and outside the pocket, which is obviously a critical component of college football in today's game, just being able to move around and give guys a chance and honestly take a little bit of pressure off the guys up front too. One of my favorite things that stands out about Luke is just the toughness that he shows. I mean, his dad was a college linebacker. He has an older brother that plays D-end up at a smaller university up in the Northeast. So he's grown up with that defensive mindset and definitely displays that toughness in his play. I mean, he is not just a quarterback. He is a football player. He's a football guy. You'll see some clips on here of him hopping over on the other side of the ball too. Later on in the stretch for his season this year, I mean, he played a little bit of safety and got in the mix. So he is definitely he's a competitive, tough player that brings that leadership quality of, hey, I'm going to show you, and then come follow me. I mean, it's going to be really fun to coach that guy.
I think we had a round of applause from Coach Fuller back there when you said safety. Yeah. He was excited about that. Responsible for nearly 7,000 yards, 73 touchdowns during his 3 seasons at Benedictine Military School, and he's selected for the 2024 All-American Bowl. I think an exciting aspect, obviously everything he does on the field, but we all know the quarterback, there's so much more to it. In the huddle, leadership, off the field, This is a young man, before he signed his letter of intent, that was getting in the car and traveling to other teammates' commitment announcements. You don't see that very often, if at all. I know you're not surprised by that, knowing him the way you do, but that's really impressive stuff.
I just think it speaks to him as a person. You know, I mean, we talk about fit, and you couldn't find a better fit at quarterback in this class than Luke. I mean, he's driven from the heart, and at the end of the day, it's about the people. I mean, I get to work with the best head coach in the country, the best assistant coaching staff in the country, and we're bringing the best players in the country that are about what we're about. And it's individuals that are led from the heart and genuinely care about other people. And you get to see that with Luke just throughout the entire process, from the time that he started building a relationship with our staff here at Florida State, and then when it got to the point where he was able to start to interact with other prospects and not just sell the vision that we talk about and that we show, but also show a glimpse of just the type of young man that he is. And that gives those other guys the confidence of, okay, this is how I fit. These are the people that I want to be around. This is the staff. These are the coaches that I want to be around. And I think it speaks volumes about him and his character as a young man.
The quarterback in this tribe, 24, 6'4", 205-pounder Luke Kromenhoek out of Savannah, Georgia, ladies and gentlemen. Coach, thanks for all you do, and we really appreciate your time, and thanks for stopping by with us today.
Appreciate it.
There you go. Tony Tokars, ladies and gentlemen, Florida State quarterbacks coach. Kind enough to give us some time here and talk about the quarterback of this class. Well, let's switch over to the defensive side of the football. Big round of applause. Florida State defensive coordinator Adam Fuller and DB's coach Patrick Surtain stopping by. There we go, boys. There we go. I don't think they're going to let you take Luke to the defensive side of the ball, Coach. They might, but
we all love Luke.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, let's start off. Ricky Knight III. We're going to go right to it with our defensive backs and our secondary here, Tribe 24 National Signing Day Special. And, guys, let's talk about Ricky Knight as we play the video of what he's capable of.
Yeah, as you will see with all four of these guys, the thing that's attractive about Ricky, he has length. He's a dog on the football field. He wants to compete, and he's a great fit for us. We don't play the butt to the sideline defense. We want guys who are aggressive, able to get up there and play press coverage, and he has tremendous ball skills. And he's a guy who's kind of been under the radar, but he's the right fit for us, and we're excited to have him on board.
Yeah, spent 3 years at the Benjamin School before heading over to Cardinal Newman. We all know of another young man, Jordan Travis, who was at the Benjamin School. That worked out pretty darn well for Florida State. And, Coach, as you mentioned, versatile, a guy that can play nickel, maybe play corner for you as well with what Ricky can do.
Absolutely. Versatile football player, like Coach mentioned earlier, a guy who has a receiver background. I think the biggest thing, with the secondary is the ability to take the ball away. And not only Ricky, but the other three guys that have shown that throughout their high school career, being able to find the ball in the air, get their head back around, and attack the football. And that's what you want out of those guys in the back end.
Absolutely. Well, our next member of Tribe 24, one of the stars of the class, how about Charles Lester, ladies and gentlemen, out of Venice, Florida, Venice High School, flat-out playmaker, guys, so I know you're fired up to be a part of the program.
Absolutely. Big-time playmaker, big-time talent. Behind the shades and all the other stuff, the guy has substance. And he's a tremendous family guy. He's a leader, a tremendous student, and he's a cerebral football player. He wants to be great. He wants to do the right things, man. He's willing to work. And on top of that, just his instincts, his elite ball skills. He's going to be one of the great ones in Florida State history. And
you see some of the highlights here. He's a game changer, right?
Absolutely,
Regardless of where you're moving around and have him on the field, he's getting things done no matter what he's doing.
No doubt about it. Another guy who has an offensive background. Coach Dukes can't have him until we refine him on the defensive side of the ball. So really, really special player. And like I said, man, he's going to be great for the locker room. He's going to be great for the DB room, and excited to have Charles on board.
A game changer, there's no question about it. Charles Lester, defensive back, Venice High School, huge personality, but a big heart and high-level football IQ as well. Continuing on here in the secondary room, Jamari Howard, 6'2" defensive back at a Norland High School in South Florida. We stay in South Florida, Coach, with this conversation. It's a guy that you identified early and someone that could potentially also get to multiple positions in the secondary for you.
Absolutely. You know, in this recruiting game, it takes a village. So obviously, you know, it's not just me. It's not just Coach Fuller or Norvell. You know, Randy had a big hand in Ryan Bartow. You know, guys who recruit the South Florida area. But you're talking about this kid. His nickname is Track. So that should tell you he can run.
Yeah.
And, you know,
if you're from South Florida and your nickname's Track, you're fast.
Absolutely. But Long has all the measurables. I went saw him in the state championship game, and you know I didn't know he was physical like that. But he brings the intensity to the game, man. He, like I said, he's a great student. You see him interacting with the coaches on the field. His football IQ is high. And he's a guy that wants to get out there and play right away and be great. And that's the kind of guys you want.
And our fourth DB and newest member of Tribe 24, Kai Bates, as well, out of Edgewater High in Orlando, Florida. Another young man that goes out, Coach, and you, again, identified him, and a great fit overall for what you guys are trying to do on the defensive side of the ball in the back end.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You know, Kai has elite ball skills tracking the football. He's another guy who played offense, you know, switched over to the defensive side of the ball last year, and as you can tell on the highlight tape, he's able to track the ball in the air, you know, and you know, he's a willing tackler, and our main goal in the secondary is to take the ball away, get it back to the offense, and he's one of the guys that can change the ball game by getting extra possessions for the offense.
Yep. Coach Fuller, as you look at this group that's going to join your defense and Coach Surtan's room, all these guys are out there, and you got some guys that Coach talked about were on the offensive side of the ball and moving over and playing defense for you full-time here at Florida State University. Talk about that fit for these four and how they fit in to what you're looking to do in the back end defensively.
You know, I thought we've done a tremendous job the last couple of years. You know, I thought we brought in 5 really good ones last year, and I think this 4 this year is, you know, as good as it can get. You know, just the length, the flexibility, but also who they are. You know, Pat hit on it. You know, they've got great length, skill, but just they're great kids and they're workers, and you know, really excited. Most of 3 of them are going to be here in January, and just really looking forward to plugging them in and getting back to work.
And winners, you mentioned state championship game appearances. I mean, those are items that are a big part of the recruiting process across the board when you're looking for what the right fit is.
Yeah, winners win. And, you know, I think we've got a great class here at all different positions, but definitely in the secondary, the length, the ability to compete, you know, their work ethic. I think it's all things that we're looking for, and just looking forward to helping take this program to the next level.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you what a season. This Florida State defense was absolutely amazing. This Florida State pass defense, right? Unbelievable throughout the entire season. Gentlemen, thanks so much for all your work, and thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Patrick Surtan and Adam Fuller, ladies and gentlemen, kind enough to join us here on Tribe 24, our National Signing Day special. All right, coming up next, we are going to head over to the offensive side of the football, talking running backs and tight ends. Please welcome to the stage Coach Yak, David Johnson, running backs coach, and Chris Thompson, tight ends coach, associate head coach at Florida State University. Coach, how you doing, guys? All righty. Well, we got some playmakers here in this category, and we'll start with the running backs, Coach Yak, and let's start with Cam Davis. As a young man from just up the road, Albany, Georgia, and a guy that played some QB in high school. But man, his numbers and his commitment to this class, he's been committed for a couple of years now. I know you're fired up about it.
Yes, definitely fired up about Cam. Extremely smart. One thing about Cam, he's been loyal. He's been helping us with this class. I think he does a great job. But he's really explosive, and he's a team player. Really big in the community. That's one thing that we look for in guys, not just for the football aspect of it, but everything. And I think he did a good job of helping us with some other guys, getting them in this class. But he can catch the ball off the backfield, and as you alluded to, he played quarterback. So he understands the entire offense, and that's what we need, you know, a guy to come in. And I think he'll be ready day one. First year, he's going to help us out.
Counted for 8,762 yards of total offense and 75 touchdowns in his prep career. Can't get much better than that. No, that's about as good as it gets.
Sound like a guy who can make my cone drills work, you know, so we're real excited about that. But again, it's so many different things that he can do. And you can, Coach Norvell says it all the time, this is where stars come to shine.
The 2022 Georgia 3A Player of the Year, Cam Davis, ranked as the #3 running back prospect in the entire country. And you have another one when you talk about staying close to home, Mekhi Danzy, a Seminole already in some respects out of Florida High, making his way just down the road to Florida State University.
And that's one of the first things you want to do. You want to keep all the good kids here. You want to keep them in town. Immediately, we saw what he could do on the field. We got a chance to really spend a lot of time with him and his family coming over. But he's going to be a great fit for us. And he can run. This kid can definitely run. He clocked 46 in the 400, best times in the country. So we excited to have him. He catch the ball out the backfield, extremely tough. He's smart, and he's a team player. So he's coming into the room, and he's going to definitely contribute, and we're looking forward to it.
2A state champion in the 200 and 400 this last season in 2023, and won the 400-meter dash and earned silver in the 200 at the 2023 USA Track and Field National Junior Olympics. They talked about speed, kills across the board. Both these two guys, you know, everything is a transition, right? But you mentioned with Kai, same with Cam, and also with Mekhi. These guys, you like coming in to try and compete early on for you at your running back spot in the room.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the biggest things. They're definitely competitors. They're coming in to play, not sit down, and that's what I was excited about, just their mindset. I think Cam does a great job of kind of understanding that he's ready to play, he's ready to roll, and he's doing the same thing with Danzy. So they already kind of formed a relationship, and they're ready to get it started.
That's a special group, the running backs here in Tribe 24. Well, it doesn't get much better than the top tight end prospect in the entire country, and he's coming to play for you, Coach Thompson, in Landon Thomas out of Colquitt County High, and a great addition to this Florida State football team as we see the highlights of Landon, and obviously extremely fired up about what this young man's going to bring to the table for your room and with this group.
Yeah, we're definitely excited about Landon. He's a kid that we've watched for, you know, since he was a freshman in high school, and you know, we identified him early as a guy that we really wanted. He's a guy that can stretch the field vertically. He's got great ball skills. He can change direction. He can run routes at a high level. But the element that he brings is he loves to put his hand in the dirt and block.
Yeah.
He was, as a young player, he was actually an offensive lineman, defensive lineman player when he was in the youth leagues in that area, and learned to put his hand in the dirt and block. And he likes doing that. He enjoys, you know, blocking for the run game for guys like Cam just as much as he enjoys catching the football. He's a humble kid. He's been coached at a high level at Colquitt County. Coach Calhoun, that program does a great job, and he's got a great family. You know, his family's awesome.
Your guys got to be versatile, as you mentioned. I mean, you take a look at our tight end room this year and in years past here, you got to have guys that can line up, move all over the formation pre-snap, and go out and make plays, and he's obviously someone that can go out and do that for you.
Yeah, he's already done all that in high school. He's shown he can do it. Like I said, he's been coached at a high level, and so, you know, we expect him to come plug in and compete right away.
#1 tight end in the nation. He's going to wear the garnet and gold in 2024, ladies and gentlemen. Landon Thomas. Guys, thanks so much. David Johnson, Chris Thompson stopping by with us here on our main stage. We appreciate that. Thanks so much. That's a great group with guys that are ready to go and ready to make an impact right away. That is for sure. No question about that. Well, as we talk offense, let's head back to the defensive side of the ball and bring on co-defensive coordinator and linebackers coach Randy Shannon here as we talk about some of the linebackers in this class in Tribe 24. Coach, you got two good ones, and we'll start off with Jaden Parrish, a guy that I know you're really excited about and our fans have been talking about with his name rolling around the social media world, wearing the garnet and gold here in this class.
Well, Jaden is a tremendous athlete. He plays both sides of the football, offense, and also he plays running back. A lot of explosive. What you're going to see, what we call knockback. He's explosive, twitchy young man that have heavy hands that when he places them on you, you go backwards. You don't go forward, you go backwards. And matter of fact, Coach Norvell got on me about him because it was like I was going through the process of evaluating, and Coach Norvell called me up and said, listen, I don't have time for this. Get Jaden in the boat and let's go. And I was like, okay, Coach, it's done. But it's a tremendous guy that has great family, a lot of enthusiasm, love the game, love the team guy. He's a guy that goes on the park and watch the little leagues and try to help little leagues out. He's a very good community guy in which we believe in. So very excited about Jaden.
word I've got written down is presence. He has a great presence on the field.
Yes, he does. You hear the coaches around Palm Beach talk about this young man of how he plays the game, how he carries himself, but he can take control of a game at a position that you need him to be of and take control of everybody.
And your second linebacker in Tribe 24, you went to the state of South Carolina, Fort Mill, South Carolina, for Tamir Hickman Collins, 6 feet tall, 220 pounds, a 4A All-State player his junior season, and another guy that fits what you guys like to do at linebacker. Coach Norvell mentioned Kalen DeLoach's name when talking about his skill set as a young player.
Well, here's another young man that's very skillful, because what we try to do is make sure we don't have guys that only can play first and second down. We need guys to play first, second, and third down. And the way we run our scheme is guys got to be able to cover, got to be able to blitz, but also be able to be very physical on the run game. And these two guys that we have, especially Tamir, has played on the other side of the ball also. But really excited about his progress and where he comes. He's another guy that will put his hands on you, going to go backwards, because that's really big for us, that you got to have knockback when you make contact, because when you make contact, you want to go backwards. You don't want to make contacts and go forward, because when it's at 3rd down and 1, 3rd down and 2, 4th and 1, you want to go backwards. And those two young men have tremendous athletic ability, but also very powerful.
And Tamir was selected to play in the Shrine Bowl, the Carolinas, as well, after the season that he just had. Coach, you got some special guys right there. I know you're looking forward to getting them in your room and getting after them. It's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. And we get both those guys in January. Very excited about it, and just ready to go.
There you go. Randy Shannon, ladies and gentlemen, here with us. We appreciate Coach's time and stopping up on our main stage. Well, we're going to get in the trenches now as we continue to look at Tribe 24. We're going to move to the offensive side of the football and hear about the big boys on the offensive line. Welcome, offensive coordinator and offensive line coach Alex Atkins, ladies and gentlemen.
I had to check the stage, bro. It's a little light. You know,
a little light? There's a lot of light here, yeah.
You find them spots.
There's a lot going on. There's no doubt. Absolutely. You got 4 good ones, Coach, that I know you and Coach Fertitta, Coach Williams looking to get in there and get after it. We start with Jonathan Daniels, a guy that is someone that I know you're looking forward to seeing and starting to develop here at FSU.
Yeah, I got to give Darius Washington a shout out. He kind of laid the blueprint for the opportunity for Daniels, because they have some of the same traits. Now, they're from the same place over there in Pensacola, but you look at the long, lean, athletic, play D-line, defensive end, has a high athletic ceiling. So, you know, that blueprint worked for Darius, who's one of our better offensive linemen who went through that process of development, and he mirrors that. So having that is what really kind of set the tone for bringing a guy in like Jonathan, you know, who grew up a big-time Florida State fan.
4-star prospect, ranked number 4 nationally among interior linemen at a Pine Forest High School out in the Panhandle, the Big Bend area in Pensacola. I know that's important for you as well. As you mentioned, we talked with Coach about this. Current players, their impact, and identifying the right fits is a big deal for you guys when you're looking to find the right fit overall.
Absolutely. I mean, it has to be a marriage within that just that personality trait and things, and just locally, man.
Yep.
Just keep around the house.
Well, for your next big boy coming up, we go back out to the West Coast. We go to Modesto, California, Central Catholic High School. Manasseh Etseti will be with us, a 6'5", 290-pounder at a Central Catholic High School. Coach, talk about Manasseh and what he brings to the table.
Well, Mana is a special project. He's actually from the Congo in Africa, and he has a host family out there in California. Miles, who's a big strength and conditioning guy. And one thing I loved about him was his transition of his body from when I first seen him in the spring to when he just came on his official visit. I saw the chest starting to broaden, the long leans, the athleticism. And like you said, you find a blueprint of success of things you've had success with, and he hits all of those abilities with his athleticism.
Yeah, originally from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. I think his Twitter handle says he's the California King Kong, I believe, is what he has on there.
I don't mind. We go far and on. We got Lucas Simmons from Sweden, and we got one from the Congo. So if you big and athletic, we're going to come hunt you.
Well, you talk about size and athletic. How about Jaden Todd out of Dublin, Georgia? 6'6", 350 pounds, Coach. This guy comes in with the size you need already along the offensive line.
And I tell you, his journey was my favorite out of all the guys, because I actually told him early in the process he wasn't good enough because of some things we saw, and he came to multiple camps. He showed up, and we actually sat down with him and said, these are the things we want to see improve in your film, and he went out there and did it. So when you have a guy that has and he's also a 4.0. Now he's a country kid. He gonna have on camo everything. But when you ask a player to do something at that level, especially at high school, and you challenge them and they answer the challenge and they want that challenge, that's a fit for us.
Consensus three-star prospect, 6'6", 350, Jaden Todd. Looking forward to seeing him tower over defenders along that offensive line. And finally, Ty Hilton, versatile player out of Oviedo, a guy that can play many positions. You need guys. You talk about Darius Washington. He was a Swiss Army knife for you. You have obviously a lot of other young men that can play a lot of different spots for you up front, and it sounds like Ty's one of those guys that can play for you across the board.
Yeah, Maurice Smith, our starting center here the last 3 years, I told him I was going to find a bigger, better version of him. I love Maurice, but I needed something better, a little bit longer, here in the future. And Maurice did a good job recruiting him, and I wanted him to have the same mindset of Maurice coming in, saying I can do whatever I need to be done, but also the versatility to play the center position, to play the guard position, wherever he needs to go, especially with his upside athleticism.
Yep, that's one heck of a group. Offensive line in great hands with great coaches here at Florida State University. Big round of applause for Alex Atkins, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, Coach. Thanks, buddy. Well, let's stay in the trenches. Let's head back to defense along the interior and along the edge, and we'll talk a little special teams as well. Please welcome to the table defensive tackles coach Odell Hagens and defensive ends coach and special teams coordinator John Papuchis. Bright lights, I know. Bright lights. The lights are a little bright up here. They are a little bright. Look at JP over here. How we doing, baby? Doing good? All righty. Coach Hagens, we start with explosiveness, and I know you want guys. We talk about presence, and Coach Shannon talked about moving people back. That's what you want around the interior of that defensive line. And we start with Jamori Flagg, going back down to South Florida, Booker T. Washington High School. This guy's a playmaker and a big-time name for you in this class in Tribe 24.
It's funny you talk about Jamori Flagg. About 2 or 3 years ago, we saw him camp, Coach Norvell, myself, and the defensive staff. We saw this young man, about 6'1.5" back then, about 260, knocking people back, dominating. We all looked at each other and said, he's our type.
He's good.
Jamori Flagg, he's very good. What a great kid. He's athletic, about 6'2", 6'2.25", about 295 pounds, very athletic, very strong at the point of attack. From Miami, big athlete.
112 tackles, 19 TFLs, and 11 sacks from the defensive tackle spot during his career at Booker T. Washington High School. And staying along the interior, Coach, you talk about size. How about Denas White, 6'4", 335.
Yes.
You go to the state of North Carolina. You found a great one last year in Keith Sampson out of New Bern. This year you bring it to Denas out of Concord, North Carolina, along your interior.
Denas is a big, powerful kid. Athletic, plays basketball. He's out there trying to run track, and I be messing with him about the kid. He can bend, he can run. He's a big, strong kid. And this kid committed to us today, and you seeing, and he's just a great person. I mean, he can knock people back, he can swim people, do it all. And we like those type of kids from that area. North Carolina, that's D-line heaven, as Ryan Bartow would say. Yeah, but Denas, he's going to be a pretty good prospect for us.
And selected to the 2023 Shrine Bowl of the Carolinas as well. Denas White, 6'4", 335-pounder. Coach JP, we're going to start with you on special teams. We talked about your guy, Jake Weinberg, top kicker in all of high school football coming in. Ryan Fitzgerald has been amazing, and you had great competition earlier on in fall camp with Tyler Keltner as well. You got a great young star with a big leg, and Jake coming in for you here in the offseason.
No, we're so excited about him, and the way it all came about. He just came and earned it. In 2023, we were considering taking a kicker in that class, and we had a bunch of kids come through camp, and there were some really talented players, but the best one was Jake, class of 2024, and Coach Norvell and I talked about it and said, well, we probably should just wait until it's his turn, and I'm so glad that we did, because I think he's going to be a really good player and have a really huge impact for us.
Young man out of South Florida, American Heritage High School, of course. Great connections there. The 2022 and 23 Lou Groza, Palm Beach County Place Kicker of the Year, knocked in a 57-yard field goal during his junior year. So a big leg from Jake Weinberg. We flip back over to the defensive side of the ball, and you got a great edge guy coming out of our nation's capital, the DMV. I know an area you know very well in your coaching career and recruiting, in D.D. Holmes along the edge, 6'6", 250, the number 2 overall prospect out of our nation's capital.
Yeah, I'm so excited about Dede. He's a guy that we targeted early in the process. We had him at the very, very top of the board in terms of guys we were targeting at defensive end. And the more we got to get to know him, get to know his family, when I was able to go watch him practice in the spring, the more clear it became to us how much upside and what a perfect fit he would have within this program. He has great leadership quality. He's a hard worker, and just his physical attributes you can't teach. So I'm really, really excited about what he could be and his future in this program.
You've had some great ones, obviously, out of the portal and out of the high school ranks. What's that success? What have you seen from that on the recruiting trail at that edge spot for you?
Well, I think we're starting that reputation that started with Coach Hagens a long time ago, and we're continuing is we're going to dominate up front. And we have had great success in a lot of different ways. We've done it, like you said, through some transfers, but also through some high school development. And I'm really excited about the future of that room and what this is going to look like.
There you go. That's some explosiveness, some exciting young players up front. Coaches, as always, great work. Thanks so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, my friend.
Odell Hagens and John Papuchis, ladies and gentlemen, talking defensive line and also special teams as well. Well, as we wind things down, as we look at all of our great new members of Florida State football and Tribe 24, let's bring up wide receivers coach and a Florida State great himself, Ron Dugans, to talk about the wide receivers here in Tribe 24. And we got some good ones, Coach. Great to have you with us, and thanks for being up here. And we start with a last name and a name that everybody in here knows, in Camden Fryer, a young man whose father, obviously, his uncle, great ties, great success here at Florida State University. But Camden is his own guy, and a guy that jumped off the radar for you, I know, early in the process.
Right, and he's a kid, I played with his uncle. He won a national title here at Florida State. His dad won a national championship at Florida State. Coach Norvell, I'm claiming that he's going to be the next one to win a national championship at Florida State. All right?
That's right.
He does an unbelievable job. He's a competitor, two-sport athlete, does a good job on the baseball field, and as well as a competitor on the football field. He did a good job in camps when he'd come by, and he's very competitive. One day I saw him really get mad, and I was like, you're getting like your daddy. Let's calm down. But good balls. We still got to continue to work. Straight line, all right, speed. Does an unbelievable job when it comes to that. But we're excited to have Camden here in this class.
A young man out of Lake City, Columbia High School, a four-star prospect, a consensus top 100 receiver nationally. And, of course, his dad, Matt Fryer, a pretty darn good football player for Florida State, a 1993 national champion. Moving on, you mentioned multi-sport stars. How about B.J. Gibson, Coach? Here's a guy out of mid-Georgia, a two-sport star that gets it done for you, but brings another level of electricity to this offense in your wide receiver room.
Yes, sir. He does a really good job. You want to talk about his 4.0 GPA in the classroom, or you want to talk about him as a football player?
That's both are great.
Well, he does a good job on the football field as well as off the football field in the classroom. But one of the things that B.J. did, he came down and he competed in camp. And that's what we got a chance to see. A lot of these guys can perform in camp, and BJ was one of those guys that came down to camp. You see his film; he does a good job with the ball in his hands. He's got good vision, he's got good ball skills. He's a hard runner, strong kid. And we're excited to have him in this class.
Yeah, BJ, one heck of a baseball player as well. Has had a great career at the high school level, certainly, and coming in here to Florida State has that type of capability as a two-sport star. BJ Gibson, a four-star prospect and ranked as the number 9 athlete out of the state of Georgia, out of Wilcox County High School. All right, as we talk about BJ, Coach, moving on, we head back down to South Florida, to Miami Central, a place that has produced some great players that have worn the garnet and gold through the years. And LaWayne McCoy, a 6'1" wide receiver, an electric player. Electricity is the word I get when we talk about Mr. McCoy and what his skill set's all about.
Yes, sir. Same school as Davin Cook. And, one of the things that LaWayne did, we had a camp down at FIU. He came into the offensive staff, myself, Coach Atkins, Coach Norvell, and he said, Coach, I'm going to earn a scholarship at Florida State. And Coach Norvell said, show me. And that's what he did. And not only did he show us as the offensive staff, he showed Coach Sertan. And now Coach Sertan wants him, but that can't happen. And but he does an unbelievable job. He's won a state championship during his time at Miami Central. He's good on both sides of the ball. He's got really good skill set, good ball skills. Kid can run. He makes plays, you know, and that's how to explain him. He's a playmaker, does a really good job, has a knack for the ball, and we're excited to have him.
Four-star prospect, ranked as the #6 athlete in the class of 2024 out of the state of Florida. 27 passes, 7 touchdowns this past season out of Miami Central. And as Coach mentioned, helped the Rockets to a 2M state championship in his junior year and a perfect 14-0 record. And last but certainly not least here, Tribe 24, you look at Elijah Moore, Coach, and the #1 prospect out of the state of Maryland, consensus 4-star. Talk about that relationship and where that began for you guys. This young man is obviously a great addition to the wide receiver room and this football team overall.
Yes, he is. And when you talk about Elijah, he's an unbelievable kid. You know, hard worker. Like if I called him a FaceTime right now, he's probably working out. You know, and one of the truths is his trainer is somebody that we all know, and that's Darnell Dockett. You know, he does a good job with him, and he's put him through some of the mat drills, a tour of duty, as Coach calls it. You know, so I hope he's ready for that. But the kid came down. He did an unbelievable job at camp. He could run. He's a good route runner, good body control, good hands. But like I said before, the kid, he just likes to work. You know, and that's one of the things that separated him from a lot of the other guys. He showed the offensive staff and some of the defensive guys, he got their attention as well, just by the way he works.
Yeah.
You know, and he's a hard worker on and off the football field, and we can't wait to get him here.
You got a great group here, Coach, of guys from the state, obviously, and guys from just up the road, state of Georgia, and Elijah Moore, the #1 prospect from the state of Maryland as well. Different-bodied guys, which I know is very important for versatility. Congratulations on all the work and the celebration tonight.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
so much.
Thank you.
There you go. Ron Dugans, ladies and gentlemen. Florida State great with us here. That's all right. I got you. It's all good. And great group, obviously, in that wide receiver room that provides such a high level to Coach Norvell and Coach Atkins' offense. Well, that's a look at the group, the 21 newest members of Tribe 24, but we're not done yet, ladies and gentlemen. We'll take a quick timeout and provide for you a 30-second announcement from our friends at Seminole Boosters.
This is something people are going to talk about. Not just this year, not just next year, but they're going to talk about forever. Every one of us doing our job. Every one of us continuing to invest. Every one of us continuing to believe. We're not done yet.
There we go. And it's been a special year, obviously, a special time. 13-0 this 2023 Florida State football program. ACC champions and preparing for the 90th Orange Bowl coming up next Saturday at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Gardens, Florida. To put the finishing touches and give us the final thoughts, a man that is a huge, huge part into the construction of this class and into this Florida State football roster. Please give it up for the General Manager of Personnel for Florida State football, Mr. Derek Ray, ladies and gentlemen, here with us. Well, congratulations. What a day, and what a few weeks, I know, but it goes much farther beyond that. How do you encapsulate all of it into what this day means to you and to the entire recruiting staff and coaching staff overall?
Yeah, just an absolute culmination of years and years of work that have been put on by everyone that's involved in this staff, and from our coaches who sacrifice so much going on the road and countless hours, to everyone who's back in the office making sure our on-campus experience is on point, and every time a young man's on campus, and even you as fans, really, bringing that atmosphere every single time we're at a home game, and all of it matters because it takes everyone.
What's your favorite part about Tribe 24?
I think just the hearts of the young men that we have. And there's such great character that's being brought to this university. Their willingness to work, their willingness to sacrifice, just so excited to get them in the program to see what they can do.
Yeah. I know our program tonight is presented by the Battle's End. A big thank you to Mr. Ingram Smith and his entire team. Ingram in the back right there for all the work that they do in providing all that they can to help in doing what needs to be done right now and providing the NIL side of things, which is a huge deal right now in the world of college athletics and college football recruiting. Kind of take us through that and the comings and goings of how that all works out and how the Battles End provides what they do for Florida State football.
Yeah, the Battles End's absolutely critical, and NIL is part of the landscape now, and for some it might be the most important part that are out there recruiting. But if that is not on point, we're not going to be in the door, and that has to be cutting edge and stay elite. Otherwise, if we want to stay elite, and so need to make sure that if you have questions about donating, more than happy to answer about any of those things. But that absolutely has to make sure that we stay on that edge.
Yep, and make sure to check out the website at thebattlesend.com as there's been a huge influx of membership over the last couple of weeks, which is extremely important here as we prepare for the Orange Bowl and obviously for everything continuing down the road with Florida State football. You've heard our coaches talk about our guys, and you mentioned the hearts and the character, just the overall fit from your perspective, the work that's been put in across the board and how this whole thing came together with the 21 newest members of the Florida State football family.
Yeah, just thank you to our staff, thank you to all those who are involved, and so much sacrifice that goes into this, but excited to get these young men here and get them rolling, and the future is bright, and we're just getting this thing started.
You guys be able to sleep now maybe for a few hours after tonight?
I think I have too much caffeine left in
There
my
you go.
system.
There you go. Derek, thank you so much for all the work, all your entire staff, recruiting staff, everybody that's on the road here on site for all they do on game day and every day. It makes a massive difference, and we appreciate all you do. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks, Jeff. Go Noles.
There you go. Derek Ray, ladies and gentlemen, the General Manager of Personnel for Florida State football. And with that, that is going to wrap up our on-site program. Before we say goodbye, we are going to play for you a final video compilation of the families of Tribe 24, wishing all these young men good luck as they make the next steps to Florida State football. Thanks for everybody here with us tonight on site. We appreciate everybody watching on the Seminoles on Concord app. And let's have some fun next week at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, shall we? At the 90th Orange Bowl. Appreciate you all coming out. Have a great night, and go Noles, everyone.